10 animals you definitely don't want to be. The sea turtle hatchling. If you happen to be that animal, the second you get born, you understand for a fact that Mother Nature has a personal score to settle with you. First of all, your egg is buried 2 feet underground by your actual mother, after which she immediately walked away because she has better things to do with her time than changing your diapers. And because she's busy surviving too, that's not personal. At birth, it is your job to dig your way up to the surface. Once you get to the surface, you're welcomed by a large area of psychotic predators who vowed disobedience to the commandment of loving the neighbor. The crab, an international world record-breaking laureate for the worst handshake in living memory. The seagull, a demonic pestilence who has no ethical quandaries, doing numbers on newborns. Dogs, foxes, and so many others. You try to make it quick to the water because you assumed without proper evidence that it must be a safer place, only to have every single rule of basic hospitality violated by an even greater amount of blood-craven predators. Sharks, octopi, even run-of-the-mill random fish are out to get you. And let's not forget the fact that you were born less than half an hour ago. Only one hatchling in 1,000 makes it to adulthood. The rhino. As a rhino, you get born in a territory where the vast majority of animals have no type of mannerism and etiquette of any kind. When a group of lions is not trying to jump you, an even larger group of hyenas may be trying to snack on you here and there while you're still alive and well. At the very least, it is important to find agreement over the fact that tasting a stranger you just met is not exactly the paragon of decent social conduct. As a rhino, you have extremely low eyesight. You can see clearly only 15 meters ahead in this hostile environment. As a result, you grow up to be paranoid beyond psychiatric intervention. You're big and strong, sure, but you're still not safe from parasitic little maniacs like ticks and biting flies and oxpeckers helping themselves with an alarming amount of your blood. You'll also be the prime target of elephants, male elephants in particular. They're extremely frustrated, especially when they're in their heat season. Unfortunately, the female elephant is open for business only 4 days out of 5 years, and because they can do nothing about that, they'll be taking their frustration out on you, the rhino, who has nothing to do with their predicament in the first place. The leopard. Of all 3 spotted felines, as a leopard you get the sharpest middle finger from Mother Nature. The jaguar is strong enough to put its merchandise on the table and be a serious threat to its habitat. The cheetah is smaller than you, but also happens to be the fastest land animal in existence. When things get out of hand, it will f*** off faster than a milk purchasing dad. And there's you, not quite fast, not quite strong, just there in the middle. Getting bullied by every single predators in your ecosystem. Lions, badgers, hyenas, wild dogs, and everything else who with a heartbeat vowed to never let you have a peaceful day. Only 50% of leopard cubs in fact grow up to reach adulthood. The adult leopard is so disrespected that other predators wait for it to kill a prey so that they can swoop in at the last moment for tax collection. Along with time, the disgruntled animal learned how to climb on trees to eat in peace because the forces of evolutionary biology came to the conclusion that it isn't that guy. And just when you start thinking that you can enjoy your meal in peace, a honey badger, the physical reincarnation of not giving a shit, follows you up there and steals from you anyway. The Adélie Penguin. First, you get born in a desolate, chaotic, cold environment, the frigid nightmare of Antarctica. Because you're a bird, you still need to build a nest for the kids. Not with soft, comfortable twigs and leaves found in temperate regions, but with solid frozen rocks. They're in short supply, and for that reason, the penguin occasionally offers its own body in exchange for rocks. And yes, that means exactly what you think it does. 2 things that'll make your life miserable as an Adélie penguin. First, food is extremely limited. You will have to swim for hours in frozen water just to get a couple of bites. Second, you are food, and you'll be targeted for a living by the largest and only exclusively carnivorous bear in the world. The anglerfish. This marine animal lives 3,000 feet below the ocean surface. No sunlight will ever reach this depth, so it kind of lives its whole life in complete darkness. Food is almost inexistent. You will get a few random pieces of shrimps here and there if you're lucky enough. You happen to be food as well, and right on top of your head you have a glowing flashy signpost attracting all predators in town. And no, you can't turn it off. Your life is significantly worse if you happen to be a male anglerfish. You're 10 times smaller than the female counterpart, and your purpose will be to get fused with her. Literally. During copulation, the male will bite the female, then become a parasitic fluid sac, being trapped inside her forever, giving a literal sense to till death do us part. The rabbit. Well, as a rabbit, you're just outrageously delicious. Every animal around you loves you. Just not the type of love that is conducive to a productive and functional relationship. Eagles in the sky love you, wolves on the land love you, ground crawling serpents love you, humans, the most efficient predators, also love you. At birth, the baby rabbit is blind, hairless, defenseless. Its dad went out to buy some milk long before it was born, and the mother will at some point help him find that milk if she gets a little too stressed. The rabbit in fact is so sensitive to stress that it can trigger an immediate heart failure. Cherry on top of the poisoned cake, its diet is a mess. It can never afford to stop eating, and this is because its digestive system never stops working. If food stops turning into its guts, it can die in hours. Another cherry on top, because why not? Its teeth never stop growing. At times, they will get through its skull in the most agonizing manner. The lion, majestic king of the jungle, ruler of the savannah, emperor of all beasts in the land. Bullshit it is. It is routinely prep-walked in its own kingdom by the like of elephants and hippos. A lion's life is nothing but pain and tribulation. As a cub, it has about a 10% chance of becoming an adult. Adult males murdering them, hyenas snacking on them. The reasons are plenty. As an adult, it will have to frequently defend its territory against other males. It will typically stay in charge for less than 2 years, and if it happens to grow old and still in charge, the lionesses in the clan will reward its long years of services by killing him. The male hyena. As a baby, its life is fine, closely guarded by the mother of the clan. It gets good food, great sleeping spots, but as soon as it becomes a teenager at around age 2, everything goes downhill in the most horrifying way. They get kicked out of the clan because females don't like breeding with the males from the same clan. And fair enough, they're siblings. So they fend off for themselves in the excruciating neighborhood of the African savannah until they join a new clan. Before getting official membership, they will get casually bullied and beaten up by the members of said clan. And if they manage to survive, they'll join the lowest rank of the pecking order. The female hyenas are stronger and bigger than the males. They will keep sustaining thorough and casual beating from them. When it comes to food, they'll only be allowed to feed on the remains, mostly made up of bones, which is why by age 4 most of their teeth are busted. They remain stuck for life in a position of subservience with no way of improvement. The Caiman. While first as a baby it has enormous chances of being checked by birds of prey. As a teenager it becomes the prime target of the jaguar, a 220 pounds raging lunatic with the strongest bite in the feline world. It is an excellent swimmer, so it can and does hunt caimans on both drylands and water ponds with a bite in the skull piercing its way through the brain. And the jaguar is a minor problem compared to the next one, the otter, a fearless mastalidé with the tireless persistence of a drug-addled maniac. It has extremely low moral standards and always attacks in group. They harass the caiman for a living by biting it repeatedly until it gives up way before they do. But if the reptilian survives all of that, it will become the strongest, most powerful predator in its ecosystem. At a point, jaguars, anacondas, or otters couldn't dream of bullying it. All well and good for the caiman, except no. At a point, its large size will attract the attention of the worst type of predator. You and I, yes, the human, because the caiman's skin is worth a lot of. In the black market, they'll be actively targeted by poachers. Whether it is a baby, a teenager, an adult, it always has an active predator. The only difference is which one. The praying mantis. By the time it is born, the mother took off already, so it will have to change its own diapers. As a newborn, it will be surrounded by its brothers and sisters, animated by the curiosity of knowing what the baby tastes like and the determination to find out. And as a praying mantis, you will have to deal with this cannibalistic nonsense your entire life. Coming across a bigger mantis only means that you're gonna get thrown on the grill. As a young adult, it will get attracted by the pheromones released by the female, so naturally it wants to entangle real quick. The female is much bigger and stronger. If the male gets noticed by her, she'll clean his head right off. To avoid imminent death, he will have to approach silently from behind while she's eating, get the job done, then walk away. Well, that was creepy beyond reasonable proportions. During the act, he will have to be extremely subtle because she'll murder and eat him if she realizes what's going on. Only about 5% of mantis grow up to the old age.